How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new video. Today's video is going to be a little bit more in-depth than most of my time-lapse kind of overview style videos. We're going to be working on replacing the ABS module on the Hellcat, and I'm going to do a kind of full tutorial and show you in-depth on how that's done, in case anybody's looking for info on this or wants to see the process on replacing the module and getting it programmed and initialized for use. So we're going to jumped right into it right now and get this process started, and you guys will be able to follow along through the entire thing. Before we get the Challenger into paint, I do want to take a step aside and do one thing that I've been really waiting to do on this car, and that's replace the ABS module. This one is broken from the impact. As you guys know, the bottom of it's cracked, casing's damaged. We do have a couple fault codes for internal communication on the module due to the damage. It has been on back order from Chrysler for many months, but we do finally have our new ABS module. It came in, it's ready to go. I'm going to get this installed and programmed. I'm going to do a bunch of other little things to get access to it. The washer bottle has to come out of the way, and I am going to remove the oil cooler because I have to put the new cooling vent shroud that goes here to duct the air into the cooler over it, and in order to install it, I need to remove both the lines because the shroud goes over the cooler and then the lines connect to it on the outside of the cooler. So I'm going to remove both of those things, which will give us access to the backside of the ABS module in order to slide it off the hydraulic pump, and then we'll be able to put our new one on, get it programmed, and get rid of more fault codes. So I think my first course of action is just going to be to remove the bracket for the oil cooler, because as we know, the washer bottle does get involved in that. There's a bolt up at the front back there that does overlap the cooler. So I think the bottle's going to come out first, and then we'll get this cooler just dropped down out of the way. Bottle out of the way, we're going to come in here and disconnect the connector for the ABS module, press the lock tab and slide the release handle up, and that will push the connector into its disconnected position. Set the connector aside. Now once we're in here, we're going to be looking for 3 bolts that hold the module onto the pump body. The kit does give you new bolts. I just need to see what size though. And so we have 3 T25 Torx bolts. One here, one down the side, one down the side and the back. Get those loosened up and out of the way. The way that feels at all. Maybe that's why they give you new bolts. What are the odds these break? So I got all 3 bolts removed. Shockingly, none of them broke. There was just some little bit of corrosion on the inside that was making it difficult to remove. And now that those bolts are out, we should be able to wiggle our wire in the way. Should be able to wiggle our module off of the control unit. I'm gonna need both hands to do this. Give me one. There's our old computer removed from the ABS pump. It's pretty cool to see how these are put together inside. So you don't have any brake fluid out here. I had put a rag just in case there was brake fluid inside, but it would make sense that this side is supposed to stay dry. You don't want brake fluid in your circuitry. So now it's time to get the new module. Get this installed onto the ABS unit. Let's see, this one was a little messed up. Not supposed to be able to see the insides of it right there, but at least it was working for the time being to allow me to start the car and move it around. But now it's time to get this fixed for real. It just slides on. Simple as that, real easy. And then we got our 3 new bolts that come with the module. Also make sure that you have a new gasket with the module per the procedure. They do not want that gasket reused. And then we will just go ahead and install our 3 bolts, real nice and simple, and get this tighten back down, plug it in, and then it'll be time to program. Now the connector, after all of those screws are tightened, can be reinstalled. Connector still being in its open position, push it on, and then once you have resistance, apply the lock tab, and you are good to go. This new module is installed, and we'll break out the computer and get that configured so we can start the car and move it around again. And now it's time to reinstall the oil cooler and the washer bottle, and I will go ahead and drain the cooler and install the ducting work around it, so this side will be all complete, and then I'll go over and install the one for the intercooler on that side as well. Here in YTech, we are going to begin our ABS initialization. Vehicle is on level ground, wheels are straight ahead, and temperature is above 50 degrees. This is true. Completed. Doing all kinds of funky stuff. Valves calibrated, no errors. Awesome. Please cycle ignition. Continue. Alright, so it looks like we are happy at the moment. Now there was a configuration mismatch code that I saw in the all DTCs. Alright, looks like everything is expected. I'm going to clear these out so we just get rid of what we don't need to look at. And this is all just airbags and interior fun and sound system codes. So we are good to go. That should allow us to now start the vehicle. Looks like the module is happy and communicating. Alright, we will come back and do an ABS bleed after, but for now I'm gonna make sure this thing starts up, and that'll be a successful replacement of the ABS module on this car if it does. That is going to be the end of today's video. The replacement of that ABS module went really well, went a lot better than I expected it to be. It didn't put up too much of a fight, and it was a good, successful programming session on it. A lot of codes got cleared, and a lot of issues were resolved from that. All the suspension features and everything in the screen in the center in Uconnect are now working. All the track settings, the suspension, steering settings, everything that runs through that ABS module is now fully functional, so I'm super happy to see that all that stuff is working. In the next video, you guys are finally going to see the Hellcat get painted, and I'm super excited to see it and to show it to you as well. So if you guys like this video, and so far have liked the project, please feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with a friend if you know someone else who might like this content, and drop a comment down below if there's anything you want to suggest or anything you'd like to see in future videos. As always, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and have an awesome day.